I have to feel the attitude of mercy but also give power like Master Almighty. If we find any soul under influence of some sanskars, just be merciful. With my vibrations of power, there will be transformation. I can do that with one soul, but also in the gathering. Baba wants us to serve in unlimited way through our vibration. That experiment with one soul and then create atmosphere in the gathering through your attitude. And then for the whole world. So let us spread the vibrations of love and mercy. Om.
उस समय के बोल का नशा भी सभी जानते कितना बढ़िया होता है, इसलिए बाप दादा सदा बच्चों को प्राप्तियों के अनुभूतियों के सागर में समाये, सागर में समाना अर्थात सागर समान बेहद के दिन क्लास में भाषण भी बहुत अच्छे करते हैं ना। सभी के पास माइंड्स है, कितनी होंगी? 7 दिन का क्लास करा सकते हो, इस पर करा सकते। माइंड्स वर्णन करना और सोचना, इसमें तो मेजॉरिटी मास है।
Om Shanti. Now do service with your elevated state of the mind and your subtle attitude. Master Merciful, just as Bab Dada feels mercy, so you children also have to become Master Merciful. And with the attitude of your mind and through the atmosphere, give souls the powers you have received from the Father. Since you have to accomplish service of the whole world in a short time, and everything, including the elements, have to be purified, then do service at an intense speed. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's day 17. Now do service with your elevated state of the mind and your subtle attitude. Today's topic, Master Merciful. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. It's okay. Well, yes, everyone is okay. That's very good. How many of you are happy to do homework? How many of you like to do homework? Everyone. Yeah. Because this way we are able to have attention. Many times during the day the thought comes, this is what the stage I should have. This is what I should be thinking. And also we kind of invoke that energy. Like for today we had homework of everything will be good, everything will be good. You become good, everything good will happen. So I really took it, and then since morning I found everything was so good. So that means our thought create vibrations, and then we find that everything goes very well. Even something wrong has to happen or something not good has to happen, it changes actually. So it was not for a day, every day. You have to just keep saying, yes, it's going to be okay, it's going to be good. Baba is also giving us indication, unlimited disinterest. And what Baba is saying that we have to have atmosphere of that, but you have to set example. It's only when you do it in practical, you show it as reality, then others can also uh, see the example and it could help them. Now, what is unlimited disinterest? I mean, you should have enthusiasm and you should be interested. Uh, if you lose interest, what the life will be. But here it is unlimited disinterest is more into, like you have lot of nature of possession. Uh, if you like something, you accumulate it. Or sometimes it could be with any material things or with people. But that's where we have to be detached and lovely, detach and observe. So we all have to see how each one of us can set a good example to create that atmosphere. But also, Baba is saying our homework should be merciful. Because generally getting upset or being loud or kind of why shouldn't be like this. Go use lot of thoughts. Just be merciful. But some say, how long, how far? If this soul keep doing it. Uh, but then, as Baba was saying, be merciful, but also give power. I think when Baba says intellectually, yes, we believe it, we agree, but we have to experiment. Experiment with the souls who have some strong personality, mm, strong sanskars, instead of thinking this one is like that, this one does this. Mm, just be merciful, be loving with that soul, be cooperative, have tolerance. So, as much we give power, the transformation will happen in that soul. So, this is like doing just for one soul. But everyone, whatever everyone's nature is, the atmosphere gets created quickly. Let's say there is, somebody is upset and whole room is full of that feelings. And how you make it very light. You start with your thoughts, create the vibrations, and those vibrations will change the atmosphere. But it's not only I have to do once in a while, but it should be done consistently. Baba himself he's the creator, he's the master. So he has responsibility of the whole world. But Baba also has given us responsibility. Because if you are happy and someone is not happy, you don't really, you truly could be happy. Unless you are very selfish and you say, I don't care, whatever are feelings of others. But if you are a sensible person, you will feel, you will say, oh, let this person be happy also. So Baba saying serving others need mercy and power both. Because generally when there is mercy, we help the soul or we could forgive the soul. But change, transformation might not happen unless I give power. And power means that I didn't feel the effect of what that soul did. And then you still was very loving with that soul. So immediately the change, realization will come. Some people take long, many years to change, whether in their way of speaking, way of thinking. So first, I shouldn't be affected, right? Knowing. It's just like someone, some people these days, they have allergy, right? So say sneeze. So what should do? Mm. There are two things. There was a time those who sneeze, they will say, excuse me or sorry. But then there is time we say, bless you. So same is if something happened physically, same happen mentally or spiritually. So is there something suffocating happen and like something is stuck. Mm. So they are very forceful. I find that as much gentle, loving, and sweet you are, it becomes very easy to implement your ideas and also maintain good relationships. If you do anything forcefully, relationships are not very polite and gentle. So, Baba, whatever he teaches mm, is good for mind, body, your wealth, and relationships. Joy of good relationships, close relationship is unlimited. Of course, peaceful mind, mm, healthy body is also important, but relationships are very important. Mm. We used to ask Dadi Janki, what is more important, service or relationship? She said, if relationships are good, service will happen. And she always said, there should be such close relationship with each other. And there is lot of happiness, lot of joy in that. Mm. And that also trusting each other. Trust is very important for closeness. But if I keep doubting all the time, there won't be good relationship. So create examples. And that is why we have to remember it's not what mind thinks, but what I create, the thoughts in my mind. Whatever mind thinks could be sanskars, could be influence. But what I think, not what mind thinks. Mind could have so many different kinds of thoughts. And sometimes we think, oh, it's coming in my mind, so they might be true, but might not be. Baba gives many examples following the dictates of mind and then opinion of others. But what is good for our life? is Baba's elevated direction. Shrimat, Manmat, Parmat. So Shrimat is direction, most elevated directions. The people, everyone, uh, they say, as many are the mouths, so many will be opinions. And our own dictates of mind. So if that is there, then there is lot of attachment with one's own ideas, one's own style. But if we follow dictates of Baba, directions of Baba, and not only there is power, but we reach our destination. But I think most of you have that experience, right? So our homework is to have mercy and give powers. Om Shanti.
Good evening, Didi. How are you?
Okay, very good.
Good. You're looking well as always.
Thank
Different things. That idea today of, again, how little time there is. I think it's in tomorrow's AVX signal. And in today's news, it was that in the next 5 years, that the heat index is going to be extremely high, higher than it's ever been before. So you see these warnings from out there. And of course, Baba's also telling us about the need for this attitude of unlimited disinterest. And I'm wondering first for you, for myself, really the feeling that destruction is definitely coming. I always accepted what Baba was saying, but I never truly felt it until 9/11. And I'm wondering if in your Brahman life, I don't see that that destruction was ever your inspiration, you know, that you were thinking about, oh, the ice caps are melting or whatever. You weren't looking at the ecological thing. But tell me about your relationship with that idea of that it is going to finish, that time is very much less now. Did you always have that attitude, or is it more recently? And do you see it in relation to just yourself and your own progression, or do you see it for us and the world? Sorry, that's a lot of questions.
There are two things. Mostly, I am more paying attention or have concern is that I need to reach destination, have, become perfect, no impurities left, nothing, no weakness is left, But I always believe that as the time is moving, clock is moving, is definitely moving towards a big change. That means night has to end and dawn has to begin. Because when you look at majority of the people, they're living a simple life in the sense of, they have vices and weaknesses, but they're not doing anything bad in a way which affects the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
There might be very few people who always think about, with power struggle and destruction, but the clock is moving, and I definitely, when these days, because of COVID, there were less flights, so you could hear less aircraft noises, and they haven't increased much, but once in a while, like there is a big sound, and I immediately think of countries and the people who are being attacked by missiles. And I have one experience once there was a war between India and China, and one time was India and Pakistan. So they had trenches, like underground. So they had told us that as soon as you hear the planes coming, and they used to come like 10, 12, like, fighters. And so I remember I never went in the trench, but under covered area. Now they feel that we should come out, but that could be more dangerous. So I could hear, we all could hear very fast speed, this, these jets coming and throwing bombs. Where they drop and what happens is another story. So whenever I hear it, sometimes I think of people who are under attack, and what is their life like, any moment they could be gone. But that kind of destructive scenes do emerge, that okay, you think that a big country, big power can do, but one day comes that they will also have to experience that, right? Like a lot of people said, there are some countries, their citizens haven't experienced war, but their policies do create wars, right? So karma is like, when it happens, it will happen worldwide. Yeah, so I sometimes do feel for the people, and what we will do. Of course, we will be bodiless, but also, as Baba says, spread the vibrations. So I think more about, even for each one of us, whatever years we have of the life, living longer is very good, but you don't want to live when you can't do anything, right? You're on that one
Yeah.
service. Yeah, so like we used to tell Dadi Gulzar, long life. She said, no, as long as Baba, as long as Baba wants to use my body, I need only that much life, because what you will live to just live, and you're not able to do anything. So this whole concept of end and destruction, I think definitely it's in my awareness. Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever had any visions of it? Or when you've been in the subtle region, has Baba shown you any scenes?
Not destruction. Basically, I have a lot of scenes of golden age and the future, and not, I haven't seen much.
Hmm. And so it's something that came in that Aviak Murli that was read about, on the two sides, that there would be this problem from, I've forgotten the word used, but the idea of wandering souls, or souls who are not so good. And wondering, and I do remember that message even in my day coming through Daddy Gulzar as well. And so and karma is a topic that, Baba said on Sunday, this very deep thing, karma, and how to know when a karmic account is finished, how to know when you're actually starting a karmic account. And that would be one thing. How do I know when I'm finishing, that I'm settling? Like a situation where two people in an accident, the one who caused the accident suffered the least, the passenger suffered very severely. So was that a start of a karmic account? Was it, whose karmic account was it? It looked like it's one, but maybe the other one who had the least problem, they were just settling with the other one. Maybe we don't need to give our attention to it, but it's a thing of that's of a little bit of interest.
Yeah, we had few years ago a retreat, Madhuban experience. So there was a lady in New Jersey, and she didn't had ride, and she wanted to come. Quite aged, couldn't go to Madhuban at all, and she really thought coming to this Madhuban experience retreat will help me. So she was calling people, and finally she got someone who could give her ride from New Jersey. So she came with that person, and then in the end they gave a card to everyone to write their experience, and she wrote that how my desire is fulfilled and now I feel so good. So when they were returning, then in the beginning when people came, when they returned, they are so excited. So they were talking about their experiences, and so the brother who was driving also was talking. So he didn't realize on the way his car just really slided and then rolled like once or twice. Some were injured, he was injured, but that mother, she left body, and so anyway, we were also going, and there was so much traffic. 2 hours, our car was not moving. Finally, when slowly we moved and we reached to that scene, it was really like a film, because there were body with the white sheet and helicopter was landing and a lot of police. So we stopped to see because there were a lot of Papa's children in whites all around. So we thought must be some BK. So we stopped. Kalaban was driving at that time and few of us. So as soon as we stopped, then they were waiting like someone's senior to come, where to take this, those who are not, those who are injured, where to take them, all that they had to decide. So when we reached, then we looked at the situation, and I was like, okay, it's like a scene in front, and so we gave them direction that this can go to this hospital, this can go, because we thought their home should be near, so their family can approach them. Now, this whole thing is that soul who left body, she was so insistent to come. So after 3 days, there was funeral, and I said it was her. She was listening to two calls, call of God and call of destiny, in the
Yeah.
sense of that she got what she wanted and she left body. So that fulfillment is there.
Mm.
And then at the funeral, there were a lot of people, their family, and when you are asking now, this brother, until now he doesn't drive because he's so much in that panic and fear because somebody died and all that. So whose karmas and what? I think it's all uh, kind of it's the destiny,
Mm.
it's karmas, and I don't know. We have to kind of see. Must be some karmas amongst all of us because he was kind to give the ride. His wife was there, someone else was there. Not, it happened to them like they were hurt, they were injuries, and
Mm.
they were taking all of them to hospital. But what is left with each one, what
Yeah.
what happened at that time, what is
Yeah.
left with them? Someone has that fear, someone has so it's also karmas didn't end, they continued with
Interesting.
some sanskars in them.
Wow.
Unless they are really yogi souls where they just saw it as a scene of drama, not affected. But those who are in the real situation, it's not easy for them to kind of forget whole thing. So I think definitely is some karmas with each other.
You know, and all of that is, you know, you see it. Somebody died, somebody was hurt, somebody was driving, somebody was whatever. But I was thinking about this thing that you touched on about, you know, whatever I think, I tend to believe, or whatever the mind thinks, I tend to believe. And then, of course, I'm going to look for other people who are going to reflect my belief back to me. You know, like Baba was saying on Sunday about that you're such good lawyers, you give very good evidence for everything, this justification. And so one thing is where my karma may result in, you know, injury or illness or lack of wealth or whatever else. But I'm thinking more especially of the karma that doesn't show anything on the outside. There's nothing on the outside, but there's distress, there's like emotional turmoil on the inside. And I think that there's possibly maybe more of that even with yogis than obvious external things. How to attend to that, and what is it that has created that? Is it just carelessness or?
But also, for Baba always says that when you keep asking why, what, how, and all that, what goes in the mind is, how could it happen when I am driving? Why this happened? You know, how this happened? So these questions, when they come in the mind, that create different kinds of, could be distress, could be fear, could be confusion. And a lot of people, then they lose their confidence. So something, they're living, but living with less confidence. So I think that you are true, that this whole question of why, what, and how, that is why Daddy also says, Baba says, don't go into those questions, you know, because that takes you in lot of useless thoughts actually. Whatever had to happen, happened, right? And for me, still this is like a scene of drama. I didn't have any thought. I mean, it was something difficult, you know, unique kind of scene. But okay, I always saw there was some benefit. And one of that, she could come and then she left body. So that was good. So Baba says, always look at what is good in each scene of drama.
Yeah, and suppose like what you're saying about how these questions create something, that in essence what we're doing is arguing with the drama, aren't we? And saying this shouldn't have happened. Why did this happen? This shouldn't happen to me. So we're arguing with the drama, no? And that then creates its own karma. That's a more subtle kind of karma, no?
Yeah, yeah. Because everything is not physical, no, lot is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I'm interested in, is the non-physical, because being a powerful yogi, it doesn't matter if you're ill or you've, you know, broken your leg or whatever, your mind is okay. But it's the karma that's generated by the mind that I suppose at some level it all goes back to the mind, where there was that original thought that I'm the body, not the soul. So arguing with the drama, yeah. So just one other question. It's not related, but it's something I've been meaning to ask you. You know, Baba often refers to himself as the knowledgeful one. Baba today is the merciful one. We've had that experience. But when we say he says it for himself, that he's the ocean of bliss, or he's the blissful one. How is God blissful? What does God's, which is different from happiness?
Bliss is beyond sorrow and happiness.
Okay, just that.
That means,
That would
yeah,
mean
there is always, even if you are happy, but that could be temporary happiness, maybe,
yes.
and then there is sorrow. But whatever scenes of drama happening, that is why all these gurus, they give them the name in the end, Anand.
Mm-hmm.
And Anand is, that means those who are renunciates or those who have unlimited this states, they will be in the bliss, no? And Baba calls bliss as blessings, balance. But
Mm-hmm.
bliss is definitely going beyond.
I
Uh,
like that.
I got
That's
it. Yeah,
yeah.
because you are still into I got it, I didn't get. But if you
Mm-hmm.
go beyond everything, you will stay in bliss.
Yeah.
So it's a very good state, though,
Yeah.
because that, yeah, I,
Yeah. I
I,
think it's
I enjoy,
yeah.
I enjoy that stage because otherwise you could go up and down, up and down, up.
Yeah.
But
But I think too that it's only of the confluence stage. I don't think that's the happiness is extreme in the golden age, but bliss is about the relationship now with Baba. I wonder if the confluence age does he experience his own bliss? Like Daddy would say, a river doesn't drink from its own self, or a tree eat its own fruit. Does
the
Baba
same is candlelight doesn't give light to itself. Because
yeah, yeah.
that's what, when you are blissful, you are blissful. But for Baba, yes, he's ever blissful.
We're blissful, but this is the time we experience it, isn't it? That's why I'm here. Okay, Didi, thank you so very much. That was lovely.
Thank
I
you
like
for
that
coming.
answer.
Thank
Okay,
you
Om
for coming.
Shanti.
Om
Good
Shanti.
night.
Good night. Meredith, you can sit here actually.
Om Shanti Vikti Parivar. So tomorrow is Thursday, which is a very auspicious day, and we'll be having Bog offering tomorrow. We are in Peace Village, so we'll have our schedule for tomorrow Amrit Vela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. and then Thursday Sakar Murli in English from 5 to 6 p.m. Then meditation, Hindi series, Bog offering, English series, and Avyakti journey. So now let's do our Avyak Murli revision. Welcome to Avyakti Journey. Avyak Murlis from 1969, inspiring us to change from Brahmin to angel.
Om Shanti. Avyakt Murli, 22nd October 1970. The sign of being full is to be flawless. The image of power and courage should be visible in such a way that no one with any devilish qualities can have courage. Up to now, together with devilish qualities attracting you, you sometimes also become attracted by those with devilish qualities. Then, in the form of royal Maya, you refer to this, saying, but the atmosphere was such, the vibrations were such, or the problems were such, and that was why you were defeated. To make excuses means to admit yourself into the dungeon. That time has now passed. Baba will not listen to any more excuses. Baba has heard excuses for a long time. Baba now wishes to see the practical form, not excuses. Now, in a short time, you will have the practical experience of the form of Dharamraj, because it is now the final time. You will experience how the Father listened to your excuses for so long, how he gave you love in the form of the Father, had mercy, compassion, and favored you a great deal. However, there are now very few of these days remaining. You will then experience how there is 100-fold punishment for the mistake of one thought. It will be like having the thought and then experiencing the fruit or the punishment of it at that very moment. That time will come very soon. This is why Bab Dada is warning you, because after all, Bab Dada has love for you children. Now, have the intoxication of being a master creator and continue to distance yourself from all the attractions of creation. You are the creation in front of the Father, but the time will come when, if you do not stabilize yourself in the powerful stage that attracts, that of master creators and master knowledgeful, your creation will create a variety of forms, colors, and ways. Therefore, in order to become full, stabilize yourself in your stage, and you will not fail in anything. Even now, there are mistakes of childhood, mistakes of carelessness, mistakes of laziness, and mistakes of having a don't care attitude still remaining. Now forget these 4 types of mistake in the same way that you will have forgotten them in the golden aged world. So now show, in a practical way, your form of being an embodiment of power, the form that is holding all weapons, and the light that is constantly lit. The individual devotees of each of you deities who are in the incognito form are desperate to find you. When your perfect form is revealed, it will be then that your devotee will find you, their special deities in that visible form. At present, there are many types of devotees. They will hear the sound, but you must remember that on one side, the sound of the devilish souls will emerge with greater attraction and full force, and on the other side, the sound from your devotees will be in full force in many different ways. It is the task of the intellect to discriminate between what you have to put into a practical form and what you must not. Therefore, the time for favors has now passed. It is now the time for spirituality. If there isn't any spirituality, you will be caught up in many different types of Maya. This is why Bab Dada is giving you a warning even today. Just as a military marshal blows a whistle the first time, and then the last time he blows it, it is the final time. So today, it is the first whistle of the warning of the delicate times ahead. The whistle is being blown for you to get ready. So now, become ready to take the exam papers. Don't think that Bab Dada is avyakt and that it doesn't matter what you do in the corporeal form. No. The picture of each one's thoughts at every second is very clearly visible in the subtle region. Therefore, you must not have a don't care attitude. You must not have a don't care attitude to the godly maryadas. Have a don't care attitude to the devilish maryadas and to Maya, but not to the godly maryadas. Some impression of having a don't care attitude reaches the subtle region, and this is why Bab Dada is once again reminding you today, you must bring perfection close and chase away problems. To be continued. Om Shanti.
Now do service with your elevated state of the mind and your subtle attitude. Master Merciful. Just as Bab Dada feels mercy, so you children also have to become Master Merciful, and with the attitude of your mind and through the atmosphere, give souls the powers you have received from the Father. Since you have to accomplish service of the whole world in a short time, and everything, including the elements, have to be purified, then do service at an intense speed.
अब अपनी श्रेष्ठ मनसा द्वारा सूक्ष्म वृत्तियों से सेवा करो। मास्टर रहमदिल, जैसे बाप दादा को रहम आता है, ऐसे आप बच्चे भी मास्टर रहमदिल बन मनसा अपनी वृत्ति से वायुमंडल द्वारा आत्माओं को बाप द्वारा मिली हुई शक्तियां दो। जब थोड़े समय में सारे विश्व की सेवा संपन्न करनी है, तत्वों सहित सबको पावन बनाना है तो तीव्र गति से सेवा करो। ओम शांति।
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.